In this piece entitled Six Crime by Jean Basquiat, Basquiat has portrayed six figures against a teal background with halos above their head. The figures appear to be black, but to me this is not just indicated by the shade of the figures, but also by the fact that they have these elongated sticks or forms coming from their head. To me, this is indicative of maybe African American hair or afros or hair belonging to those of color. According to the information presented by the MoCA Museum, where this piece is located, Basquiat was trying to depict possibly a gang crime or gang slang in jail. Six crime is a term that is used to express a fellowship or camaraderie amongst those incarcerated. I believe that he was trying to show the nature and the real animalistic lifestyle of incarceration. What's also interesting to me is the fact that there are two figures per box or two figures per canvas or slot. To me, this is symbolic of inmates being housed together or two inmates in jail together, which is common for jails to house inmates, two per cell. I also pay attention to the seemingly mindless scribbles or numbers underneath the figures and surrounding the figures. To me, that is possibly inmates writing on the wall in jail, counting down the time, basically just scribbling on the wall. But if you look into it further, you will notice that the number 6, the letter S, and a few of these scribbles repeat within each slot of the canvas. And also, if you look at Basquiat's work, he's known to use symbols and numbers that reoccur throughout all of his pieces. In the rare interviews that he did give, he's told an interviewer that in reality, a lot of these scribbles and random drawings are just things that come to his mind in the moment, just inspirations to just what he just feels and he puts down on the canvas. Another marker in Basquiat's work is his simplistic use of the human form. He basically reduces the human anatomy into shapes and forms that are recognizable, but not grandiose, so to speak. I think that he did this because he wanted the audience to focus on the meat of his message rather than the aesthetics, if that makes sense. I think that he wanted his art to come across real and raw. Basquiat's manipulation and reduction of the human form is pretty much drawn from the fact that as a child, his mother gave him a lot of anatomy books, the Gray's Anatomy book to be exact. And he basically was able to study the human anatomy as a child. And I think that gave him a lot of inspiration to basically reform how the human body is portrayed in art or how the human form is viewed in art. I don't think that Basquiat was into romanticizing his art or creating images that were revolved around beauty, so to speak. I think that he wanted to project the struggles and the emotions and the experiences of being a Black male in America. And I think that much of his art, or just about all of his art, is driven by that emotion, those feelings and what it means to be a Black person and the struggles that come with being a Black person. Especially during that time period, I don't believe that type of art was necessarily appreciated or spoken about, where people of color are expressing, whether it be literature, music, or paintings. I feel like that the message wasn't necessarily heard. And I think with Basquiat, that finally changed. I believe that his art was so captivating and so different, so confusing, so loud, and so chaotic that you couldn't help but pay attention. I feel like the chaos within Basquiat's painting, and this piece specifically, was just a reflection of Basquiat's feelings and emotions and experiences as a Black man in America. And I think he wanted his viewers to feel that anger, that pain, and the confusion that he felt. I think what makes his art so pure and so relatable is the fact that it is it is all over the place. It has no rhyme. It has no reason. It's just a bunch of emotions, and I think it really relies on the viewer to interpret these pieces based on their own experiences in life, and also maybe gain a vantage point of being in someone else's shoes. What also stands out to me is Basquiat's choice of this teal blue background. To me, this is significant because it symbolizes the ever so present dominant police force in the Black community and the over policing of Black people, which we still see present today. After doing some deeper research on Basquiat, I learned that his roots in graffiti is really the spur or the foundation for this chaotic style of painting. Before being the world renowned Basquiat, he was known alongside a fellow painter named Al Diaz as Samo, or Same Old Shit. And it was a collaboration between the two artists where they would tag basically the entire Lower East Side of Brooklyn with different slogans and terms and figures that became popular and recognizable all over the city. A few years after the collaboration, the phrase Samo is dead was seen around the city, and it was later found out that the two had had a falling out. Even though Basquiat only lived a short life on this earth, I feel like his pieces truly live on and are really his legacy and are still relevant today. I feel like, if anything, his art challenges everyone to take a look within themselves and and the life around them and what's going on in society around them, and to pay attention. I think that's the most important thing art can do is draw emotion out of you and feelings and provoke you to act or to do or even inspire you to create your own art.